In the stillness of eternity, Enoch stood upon a sacred crest, his soul lifted by divine winds that whispered ancient truths, his eyes pierced by starlight, unveiling mysteries hidden from mortal hearts, where destinies were etched in the radiant script of the heavens. The heavens split wide, a torrent of golden radiance cascading like a river from eternity, revealing the fates of souls, some destined to shine as everlasting beacons, others doomed to fade into the shadow of their own rebellion. The righteous rose like flames of a newborn dawn, their faces aglow with celestial peace, their steps soft upon gardens where rivers of crystal sang hymns of eternal joy, where blooming flowers exhaled fragrances that spoke of salvation, untouched by sorrow's fleeting grasp. Enoch gazed upon the garden, his eyes shimmering with awe, his fingers brushing sacred grass, the angelic chorus swelling like a tide, his heart soaring with the promise of a light that would never dim, a vision of glory that burned within his soul. Yet the wicked were cast into an abyss of unyielding shadow, their forms swallowed by a night without end, their anguished cries a fleeting echo in a void that offered no mercy, their silhouettes dissolving into the smoke of their own defiance. Enoch recoiled, his eyes heavy with sorrow, the wails of the damned piercing his heart like thorns, the black smoke rising like a shroud, his soul torn between pity for their torment and awe at the justice that bound them to their fate. Light and darkness stood divided, the righteous bathed in divine splendor, their laughter a melody of salvation that echoed through the heavens, while the damned writhed in chains forged by their own sins, their eternal shame a shadow that no light could pierce. The earth stirred from its primal scars, restored by holy rivers gleaming like liquid starlight, peaks crowned with verdant glory, valleys echoing with triumphant hymns. Hand in hand with the Lord of Spirits, the righteous walked paths of radiant truth, their steps unshaken by fear, their hearts woven into a light that no darkness could dim, their laughter a symphony of triumph that reverberated through the celestial realm. But the sinners sank deeper into a chasm of despair, their rebellion a weight that crushed their forms to ash, their fading screams lost in a vortex of smoke, their torment an eternal testament to the unrelenting fire of divine wrath. Enoch turned away, his eyes red with unshed tears, his hands clenched in silent prayer, the distant cries of the damned fading into a mournful whisper, his heart heavy with the weight of truths that would echo through the ages. From a throne of molten starlight, the Lord of Spirits spoke, his voice a tempest that tore through the heavens, reshaping the cosmos with a decree that sealed the fates of all souls, its power shaking the foundations of eternity.
My light endures forever. Enoch, behold the fates of souls. The righteous shall shine in my glory. The wicked shall perish in shadow. My justice is a flame that consumes rebellion, sealing the damned in their eternal chains.
O Lord, your justice divides light from darkness. I will etch this vision to guide the ages. Your creation weeps, O Holy One, yet I will bear its grief and write its truth for ages to come.
Enoch witnessed the fire of the Holy One's wrath. Write, for the day of reckoning spares no secret. Enoch, see the garden of the righteous and the abyss of the damned. Record the truth of their fates. The proud are broken, their sins laid bare. Bow before the Holy One, or be swept into the abyss.
Enoch carved the prophecy upon parchment beneath a smoldering ember's glow, his hand wavering under the fury of heaven's verdict, each mark a light for ages unborn, his words a solemn decree of the Creator's unyielding justice, etched into the annals of eternity. Through a boundless sea of stars, Enoch ascended, cradled by divine light that pulsed like the heartbeat of creation, his soul drawn by celestial winds to a throne, where justice reigns eternal, where the mysteries of heaven and earth unfold in radiant splendor. Above the cosmos towered a throne of radiant glory, its light outshining the sun, where the Son of Man sat, his face a blaze of divine truth, his robe whiter than snow, encircled by countless angels whose hymns wove a tapestry of celestial praise that shook the heavens. 4 archangels stood before the throne: Michael, shield of the faithful; Raphael, healer of souls; Gabriel, herald of divine will; Uriel, keeper of eternal hope. Their voices thundered like crashing waves, singing, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of spirits," their song of fire that burned through the stars. Enoch, trembling in awe, turned to the angels beside him, his voice a whisper. "Who is this upon the throne of glory?" They answered, "This is the Son of Man, judge of all creation, whose light was kindled before the world began, whose justice will endure forever." Books of celestial flame unfurled, their pages shimmering with the deeds of every soul, each word a spark of eternal truth that pierced the veil of time, revealing the hidden works of kings, commoners, and all who walk the earth, their lives laid bare before the divine gaze. From every corner of creation, nations gathered before the throne, from emperors clad in gold to the humblest hearts in tattered cloth, their fates exposed under the unyielding radiance of the Son of Man, whose gaze stripped away all pretense and power. Kings and lords fell to their knees, their crowns tumbling like withered leaves, their palaces of pride crumbling to dust, as the Son of Man's light laid bare their fleeting glory, their trembling hearts finding no refuge from the justice that burned brighter than their thrones. The righteous stood radiant, their faces aglow with celestial peace, their steps guided by angelic hands through orchards of eternal bloom, their hearts woven into a light that no shadow could dim, their laughter a symphony of joy that echoed through the heavens. The rebellious were cast into a pit of relentless blaze, their bodies devoured by an unyielding inferno, their pleas lost in an everlasting darkness, their guilt a chain that anchored them to their self-wrought doom. Stars that strayed from their divine paths and fallen angels, once radiant beacons, were bound in chains of molten wrath, their rebellion incinerated in a furnace of divine justice, their wails a mournful chorus that testified to their defiance of the Most High's sacred order. Enoch fell to his knees, his heart torn by the weight of judgment, his eyes heavy with sorrow for the damned, yet lifted by awe at the righteousness that would prevail, his soul trembling under the burden of truths too vast for mortal hearts to fully grasp. Wisdom descended from the heavens, a radiant flame seeking a home among men, but they, blinded by pride, turned away. Grieving, she ascended to the throne of the Most High, her voice a lament. "I found no place among the children of men, and so I returned to eternity." Enoch wept, his hands shielding his face, his heart pierced by the rejection of wisdom, the fading light of her presence a wound upon his soul, as the cold winds of human folly whispered of blessings, lost to the stubbornness of unyielding hearts. The heavens unveiled their secrets, stars tracing paths of flawless obedience, sun and moon dancing in celestial harmony, winds and storms bowing to divine will. Their storehouses opened to reveal a cosmic symphony that sang of the Creator's unerring order. The books glowed brighter, their words alive with the breath of eternity, each page a mirror of divine truth, reflecting the deeds of the righteous for life everlasting, and the sins of the wicked for judgment unyielding, their fates sealed in the fire of celestial justice. The Son of Man rose, his presence a tempest of light that shook the foundations of the earth, his gaze piercing every soul like a blade of truth, as the nations stood silent, their destinies hanging in the balance of a verdict that would echo through eternity. The righteous were called forward, their steps light as if borne on wings, their faces shining with the promise of a kingdom where orchards bloomed with fragrant fruits, where rivers of crystal sang hymns of joy, their hearts unbound by the chains of mortal fear. The Son of Man lifted his hand, his voice a melody woven of mercy and justice, calling the faithful to their eternal reward. His words a radiant beacon that pierced the shadows of a broken world, summoning the blessed to their promised inheritance.
Come, blessed of my Father.
But the sinners sank into a vortex of flame, their forms dissolving into ash beneath the weight of their rebellion, their fading screams lost in an abyss of unyielding fire, their iniquity purged by the divine wrath that consumes all that defies the Most High. Enoch inscribed the vision by a flickering flame, his quill a bridge between the mortal and divine, his words a solemn warning to the ages, as the earth bloomed anew, its scars healed by rivers of light, its mountains singing of a justice that endures forever. Enoch stood amidst a tapestry of stars, his form bathed in divine radiance that pulsed like the breath of eternity, his soul lifted by celestial winds to witness the final unveiling of the Creator's justice, where the destinies of all creation would be forged anew in the light of unyielding truth. Above the cosmos, a throne of incandescent glory blazed, its light outshining the heavens, where the Son of Man sat, his countenance a radiant flame of divine truth, his robe whiter than the purest snow, encircled by legions of angels whose hymns wove a celestial symphony that shook the foundations of eternity. Books of celestial flame unfurled, their pages aglow with the eternal deeds of every soul, each word a spark of divine truth that pierced the veil of time, illuminating the works of kings, commoners, and rebels alike, their lives laid bare before the unerring gaze of the Judge of all creation. Kings and tyrants trembled before the throne, their crowns tumbling like withered leaves, their palaces of pride reduced to ash, as the Son of Man's radiant gaze stripped away their fleeting power, exposing their hearts to a justice that burned brighter than all their earthly thrones combined. The Son of Man rose, his presence a tempest of light that shook the earth, his voice a thunder that reshaped the heavens, pronouncing judgment upon the mighty who oppressed the meek, their fate sealed by the truth they had scorned in their arrogance.
You knew the truth, but chose evil.
The defiant were flung into a gulf of searing wrath, their shapes incinerated in a ceaseless furnace, their screams fading in a void of unending judgment, their defiance a burden that sealed their everlasting anguish. Fallen angels, once radiant bearers of divine light, and their offspring, the Nephilim, were bound in chains of molten wrath, their defiance incinerated in a furnace of divine justice, their wails a mournful dirge that echoed their betrayal of the Most High's sacred order, their forms dissolving into ash. Enoch fell to his knees, his heart torn by the weight of divine judgment, his eyes heavy with sorrow for the damned, yet stirred by awe at the righteousness that prevailed, his soul trembling under the burden of truths too vast for mortal hearts to fully comprehend, his breath a prayer for the lost. The earth shuddered and split, bathed in a cascade of divine light that healed its ancient wounds, mountains cloaked in emerald verdure, rivers sparkling like molten crystal, as creation awoke from the scars of sin, singing a hymn of renewal that reverberated through the heavens. Orchards of eternal dawn bloomed with fragrant fruits, their branches swaying in a gentle breeze, flowers exhaling perfumes that spoke of salvation, fields aglow with radiant life, as the earth bore witness to a justice that restored its primal beauty, untouched by the shadow of corruption. The righteous strode in divine glory, their countenances radiant with heavenly calm, their voices a chorus of everlasting delight, led by celestial guardians through groves of perpetual bloom. The Son of Man walked among the righteous, his presence a beacon of divine light, his steps sowing peace, as angels sang, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of spirits. Their voices a torrent of praise that filled the heavens, proclaiming the eternal reign of the Chosen One. Enoch gazed upon the garden, his eyes shimmering with awe, his fingers brushing sacred boughs laden with eternal fruit. The angelic chorus swelling like a tide, his heart soaring with the promise of a kingdom where sorrow and death were but forgotten shadows, a vision of glory unending. The heavens unveiled their sacred order, stars tracing paths of flawless obedience, sun and moon dancing in celestial harmony, winds and storms bowing to divine will. Their storehouses of light opened to reveal a cosmic symphony that sang of the Creator's unerring and eternal command. Enoch, his voice trembling with wonder, turned to the angels. "What is this kingdom of unending light?" They answered, "This is the realm prepared for the righteous, where the Son of Man reigns, his justice a shield, his wisdom a crown, his kingdom an eternal haven of peace." A city of radiant light rose, its walls of shimmering pearl, its gates of burnished gold, where the righteous sang praises that echoed like bells of eternity, their voices a chorus of triumph, their lives intertwined with the glory of a kingdom where justice and love reign supreme. The Son of Man stood upon his throne, his presence a blaze that consumed all shadow, every knee bowing, every tongue confessing his name. As angels and creation knelt in reverence, their adoration a testament to the eternal sovereignty of the one chosen before the stars were born. Enoch wept, his hands shielding his face, his heart pierced by the beauty of the kingdom, yet aching for those who would never see its light. The distant hymns of the righteous a bittersweet melody, as he bore the weight of a vision that would echo through the ages. The abyss of unquenchable flame roared, consuming the last of the wicked, their forms dissolving into ash, their screams fading into oblivion. The Nephilim and fallen angels erased from creation, their memory banished by the divine wrath that purges all that defies the Most High. A new earth emerged, its mountains chanting hymns of glory, its rivers of radiant light flowing with songs of redemption, its trees ablaze with eternal bloom, as creation itself bore witness to a renewal that erased the scars of sin, heralding a dawn that would never fade. Enoch inscribed the vision by a flickering flame, his quill trembling under the weight of divine truth, his words a beacon for generations yet unborn. As the earth bloomed anew, its verdant hills whispering of a justice eternal, a kingdom where the righteous would shine like stars forever. The Lord of Spirits spoke, his voice a thunder that rent the heavens. These truths are revealed for all generations. Let the righteous live in hope, for their salvation is near. Let the wicked repent, for my judgment is just, and none shall escape the light of my truth. The righteous stood with the Son of Man, their light entwined with his eternal glory, angels singing praises that filled the heavens, the new earth shimmering with divine splendor, a kingdom where justice, wisdom, and love reigned in perfect harmony, its beauty an anthem to the Creator's will. Enoch lifted his eyes to the heavens, the light of the vision fading, his book sealed with trembling hands, the cold winds of time whispering of eternity, his heart heavy with the charge to warn the ages, his soul alight with the promise of a kingdom that would endure forever. Enoch soared through a boundless sea of stars, his form cradled in a radiant glow that pulsed with the breath of eternity, his soul lifted by cosmic winds to behold the sacred order of the heavens, where the Creator's will wove a tapestry of light and obedience that spanned the vastness of creation. Uriel, the guardian of celestial luminaries, appeared in a blaze of divine splendor, his voice a melody of eternal truth, guiding Enoch to the paths of the sun, where portals of radiant flame opened, revealing the chariot of molten gold that rules the day, its course set by the Most High's unerring command. The sun, a blazing orb of divine fire, traversed its sacred portals, rising from the eastern gates to set in the western embrace, its journey marking the seasons, spring's balance, summer's warmth, autumn's equilibrium, winter's quiet, each moment a testament to the Creator's precision, never straying from its ordained path. Fields of emerald life bloomed under the sun's nurturing gaze, trees heavy with fruit, rivers sparkling with reflected light. As humanity toiled in harmony with the earth, sustained by the warmth that kindled life, a living hymn to the Most High who ordained the sun to be creation's steadfast heart. Uriel turned to the moon, a mirror of celestial grace, its soft light waxing and waning in a dance of 29 or 30 days, its glow a reflection of the sun's glory, stirring the tides and guiding the night, its gentle rhythm a complement to the day, woven into the Creator's harmonious design. Under the full moon's radiant embrace, villages glowed with tranquil light. Fishermen navigated by its silver beacon, the seas rising and falling in obedience to its call. Each cycle a silent song of divine order, illuminating the night with a grace that spoke of the Most High's eternal care. Enoch gazed upon the moon, his eyes shimmering with wonder, his fingers reaching for its ethereal light, as Uriel stood beside him, the celestial harmony filling his heart with awe, a vision of divine balance that stirred his soul to praise the Creator, whose luminaries moved in perfect unity. Uriel lifted his hand to the stars, lanterns of divine purpose strung across the heavens, each bearing a name and a calling from the Lord of Spirits, their constellations swirling in a cosmic dance, marking the seasons and years with unwavering fidelity, their light a beacon of obedience to the Creator's will. Yet some stars, defiant in their rebellion, abandoned their sacred courses, their light fading as they plummeted into an abyss of starless void, bound with fallen angels in chains of divine wrath. Their anguished cries a warning of the judgment awaiting those who forsake the Most High's eternal decree. Enoch recoiled, his eyes wide with dread, his hands clenched in silent prayer, as Uriel stood resolute, the fading light of rebel stars casting shadows on his heart, a chilling reminder of the consequences of disobedience, his soul trembling before the weight of divine justice revealed in the heavens. Uriel swept his hand across the cosmos, where portals of radiant flame spun in perfect order, each season unfolding like grains in a cosmic hourglass. Spring's renewal, summer's abundance, autumn's harvest, winter's rest, a year of 364 days, crafted by the Most High to cradle creation in harmony. Enoch, his voice a whisper of wonder, turned to Uriel. "Why do the luminaries move with such precision?" Uriel answered, "They obey the Most High's command, their paths a mirror of his will, a testimony to creation's fidelity, set to guide humanity in righteousness and truth." Uriel's countenance darkened, his voice a solemn warning. "In the last days, mankind will defy the Creator, twisting the seasons, shattering the sacred cycles of sun, moon, and stars, their hearts straying from truth, their folly a rebellion against the order established from the dawn of time." Uriel raised his hand, light blazing from his form, his voice a clarion call that shook the heavens, proclaiming the truth of creation's obedience and humanity's peril, a divine admonition etched in starlight.
The stars obey, but man will rebel.
Enoch sank to the earth, his spirit weighed by Uriel's warning, his gaze tracing the paths of obedient stars, torn between awe at the Creator's order and grief for humanity's coming betrayal, yet resolute to carry this truth through the ages. The heavens spun in majestic unity, sun, moon, and stars weaving a celestial tapestry of flawless obedience, their light pouring from storehouses of divine radiance, winds of the cosmos singing hymns of eternal order, a symphony that proclaimed the Most High's unerring sovereignty over all creation. Enoch gazed upon the cosmos, his eyes alight with reverence, his fingers brushing the ethereal glow of starlight, as Uriel stood sentinel, the harmony of the luminaries filling his heart with wonder, a vision of divine precision that urged his soul to proclaim the Creator's glory to all generations. The Lord of Spirits spoke, his voice a thunder that rent the heavens. Enoch, inscribe these truths for all generations. Let humanity learn from the luminaries to walk in my ways, for they obey my commands while men stray. Their light testifies against the wicked in the day of judgment. Enoch traced celestial truths onto vellum beneath starlight's gleam, his pen faltering before the majesty of the Creator's design, each line a guide for generations to come, his words a sacred summons to honor the harmony of the cosmos. The righteous lifted their eyes to the heavens, bathed in the gentle glow of obedient stars, their villages serene under the moon's tender light, their hearts steadfast in the Creator's truth, guided by the luminaries that shone as eternal witnesses to the Most High's unchanging order. In the abyss of starless void, the rebellious stars languished, their light extinguished, their cries fading into oblivion, bound with fallen angels in eternal chains, a stark testament to the judgment awaiting those who defy the sacred order of the Lord of Spirits, their fate sealed in darkness. Enoch sealed his book, the glow of revelation dimming, the silent winds of eternity weaving through the stars, his soul burdened with the call to awaken humanity, his soul alight with the promise of a truth that would endure forever. Enoch stood amidst a celestial sea, his form bathed in divine radiance, cosmic winds whispering of creation's dawn as the earth emerged below, a canvas of primal light where the saga of humanity unfolded, its triumphs and tragedies etched in the Creator's eternal gaze. From the earth's heart, a sentinel of primal light arose, Adam, a majestic bull cloaked in purity, striding across verdant plains where the righteous followed, their hearts woven with the Creator's will, an age of innocence shimmering under the heaven's gentle embrace. From Adam's lineage, Seth emerged, a young bull radiant with hope, his steps echoing his father's faith, leading a people whose lives sang hymns of devotion, their unity a fleeting testament to the Most High's design, before the shadow of sin crept into their midst. The righteous bulls faltered, mingling with shadowed beasts born of fallen angels, spawning monstrosities of shadowed blood, the Nephilim, whose towering forms cast a pall over the earth, their roars a defiance of divine order, as sin's curse wove a shroud across creation. The earth groaned under the Nephilim's tyranny, mountains trembling, rivers choked with sorrow, as humanity sank into chaos, the curse of sin lingering like a specter, its dark tendrils promising ruin, a world defiled by the pride of those who scorn the Creator's light. Enoch fell to his knees, his heart heavy with the vision of humanity's fall, his eyes veiled by grief for the lost, yet stirred by the faint glow of divine mercy, his soul trembling under the weight of a truth that foretold both judgment and the hope of redemption. A deluge of divine wrath surged from the heavens, the sky collapsing in torrents, swallowing the earth, the Nephilim's cries drowned in an abyss of unquenchable wrath as creation was purged. Yet a single ray of celestial light pierced the storm, heralding salvation. Amid the flood, Noah stood resolute, a sentinel of renewed light within the ark, his family sheltered by divine grace, their vessel a beacon of hope, preserving the righteous through the tempest, a promise that the Creator's mercy would endure beyond the water's rage. The waters receded, revealing a cleansed earth, where Shem, Ham, and Japheth, radiant calves of promise, stepped forth from the ark, their lineage birthing new nations. Their steps a fragile hope, yet shadowed by the curse that lingered in humanity's heart, unyielding and subtle. In their pride, humanity raised a tower to rival the heavens, stones piled high in defiance, their ambition a fleeting spark against the Creator's will, the air thick with hubris as the winds of divine judgment gathered, ready to scatter the seeds of their reckless unity. The tower crumbled under divine decree, its stones scattered like ashes, nations torn asunder, their voices fractured in a cacophony of tongues, the earth trembling with the weight of their folly, a stark reminder that no pride can stand before the Most High's eternal sovereignty. Angels descended, their radiance a guide through the shadowed ages, leading the righteous, radiant sheep who followed in faith, their steps tracing paths of justice, their hearts kindled by the promise of a kingdom where the Creator's light would reign unopposed. A majestic ram arose, cloaked in divine glory, his presence a flame that rallied the scattered faithful, guiding them toward the land promised by the Most High. His strength a beacon, as angels sang hymns that echoed through the heavens, proclaiming the dawn of hope. A citadel of eternal radiance rose, where radiant sheep sang praises that shook the stars, while wolves and beasts of sin were cast into an abyss of unquenchable wrath, their howls silenced as the earth was reborn, free from the stain of wickedness, bathed in divine light. Enoch etched Noah's destiny upon sacred scrolls under a waning fire's glow, his hands steadied by the charge to herald redemption, his words a clarion call to escape the shadow of sin. Enoch sealed his book, the light of the vision fading, the cold winds of eternity weaving through the stars, his heart heavy with the charge to warn humanity, his soul alight with the promise of a kingdom where the righteous would dwell forever, untouched by the curse of sin. Enoch stood amidst a sea of stars, his form cloaked in divine radiance, the cosmic winds whispering of judgment as the heavens trembled with the weight of eternal truth, revealing the destinies of the righteous and the wicked, a vision to stir the hearts of generations yet unborn. The earth groaned under the weight of sin, mountains crumbling, waters swallowing creation, the Nephilim's cries echoing in vain, their towering forms fading into shadow as divine wrath purged the corruption that had defiled the Most High's sacred work, a prelude to final judgment. Enoch fell to his knees, his heart pierced by the vision of destruction, his eyes veiled by trembling hands, yet lifted by the faint glow of divine mercy, his soul torn between dread for the lost and hope for the righteous who would rise from the ashes of a broken world. In the dawn of time, Adam emerged, a beacon of primal light, walking in verdant fields where the righteous followed, their steps pure, their hearts aligned with the Creator's will, a fleeting age of innocence before the shadow of sin crept into the heart of humanity. From the union of fallen angels and mortal flesh, the Nephilim arose, their shadows darkening the earth, humanity spiraling into chaos, their laughter a mockery of divine order, as sin wove a web that ensnared the world, defying the Most High's sacred covenant. A deluge of divine wrath engulfed the earth, yet Noah stood resolute within the ark, a vessel of salvation bathed in celestial light, the righteous preserved amidst the flood, their deliverance a testament to the Creator's mercy, a beacon for a world reborn from ruin. Humanity dared to pierce the heavens with a tower of pride, but the Lord of Spirits shattered their ambition, scattering nations like dust in the wind, their voices fractured, their unity lost, a warning of the folly that defies the Creator's eternal design. Angels descended, their radiance guiding a righteous leader, a ram of divine strength, his presence a flame that rallied the faithful, leading them through shadowed valleys to the promised land, their hearts kindled by the hope of a kingdom foretold by the Most High. The wicked multiplied, their hearts consumed by greed, igniting wars that stained the earth with blood, Stars falling like tears from the heavens, their rebellion a chorus of defiance, as the shadow of judgment loomed ever closer, unyielding and inevitable. From the heavens the Messiah descended, a beacon of unquenchable light, his presence a tempest of divine glory, sundering the darkness as angels bowed and creation trembled, heralding the dawn of a kingdom where justice and righteousness would reign forever. A city of eternal dawn rose, its walls of shimmering pearl, its gates of burnished gold, where the righteous sang hymns that echoed like bells of eternity, their voices a symphony of triumph, their lives woven into the glory of a kingdom untouched by the shadow of sin. The righteous strode in divine glory, their countenance illuminated by heavenly serenity, their voices a chorus of eternal delight. Rivers of radiant glory flowing beside them, their hearts unbound by mortal fear, forever dwelling in the presence of the Creator's eternal light. The wicked were cast into a chasm of unending night, their cries swallowed by an inferno that never ceased, the Nephilim dissolving into ash, their legacy erased by divine wrath, a final purging of all that defied the Most High's sacred order, their memory lost to eternity. Enoch inscribed the vision by a flickering flame, his quill trembling under the weight of divine truth, his words a solemn warning to the ages, a call to choose righteousness, as the cold winds of time whispered of a judgment that would spare none who turned from the Creator's path. Enoch rose, his eyes burning with resolve, his hand raised to the heavens, bathed in celestial light, his voice a clarion call to humanity, urging them to heed the lessons of the ages, to rise above the failures of the fallen and embrace the promise of salvation.
The Nephilim fell. Will you rise?
The righteous knelt in awe, the light of the kingdom washing over them, angels singing praises that filled the heavens, the new earth shimmering with divine splendor, a testament to the Creator's mercy, a haven where justice and love would reign in eternal harmony. Enoch sealed his book, the light of the vision fading, the cold winds of eternity whispering through the stars, his heart heavy with the charge to warn the world, his soul alight with the promise of a kingdom where the righteous would shine forever, untouched by time. Enoch sat in solemn reflection, cloaked in a veil of divine radiance, the cosmic winds whispering of destinies yet unveiled, as the stars above pulsed with eternal truth, their light a silent herald of the Creator's unyielding justice and boundless mercy for generations to come. Methuselah approached, his eyes shadowed with unease, his trembling hands betraying a heart burdened by wonder, the flickering glow of celestial light casting his face in sharp relief as he bore tidings of a child whose birth would alter the course of humanity's fate. Methuselah spoke of a child, Noah, radiant as dawn's first light, his skin glowing like polished pearl, his eyes beams of celestial fire that illuminated their home, a presence not of mortal flesh, but of divine purpose, a sign that stirred both awe and trepidation in the heart of Enoch. Enoch fell to his knees, his heart heavy with the weight of Methuselah's words, his hands raised in fervent prayer, seeking the Most High's wisdom, as a radiant glow enveloped him, his soul trembling before the mystery of a child destined to bear the Creator's sacred charge. The Lord of Spirits spoke, his voice a thunder that rent the heavens, light erupting in a cascade of divine glory, as angels bowed in reverence, proclaiming the sacred purpose of a child chosen to stand against the tide of corruption that had defiled the earth.
Noah will end the Nephilim's curse.
Enoch rose, his eyes alight with divine revelation, his fingers brushing the ethereal glow of truth, his heart swelling with joy at the promise of Noah, a beacon of unblemished hope destined to preserve the righteous and restore the earth through the Creator's boundless mercy. Enoch placed his hand upon Methuselah, the light of Noah's destiny shimmering between them, a solemn charge to guard the chosen child, whose life would weave a thread of salvation through the coming deluge, a testament to the Most High's unerring plan for humanity's redemption. The earth groaned under the Nephilim shadow, their cries swallowed by a chasm of unyielding flame, where fallen angels and their monstrous kin were bound, their forms dissolving into ash, a prelude to the judgment that would purge all who defied the Creator's sacred order. The wicked were cast into an abyss of eternal night, their voices lost in an inferno that knew no end, their riches and power crumbling to dust, their lamentations a futile echo of rebellion, forever erased from the Creator's memory, their fate sealed in unquenchable despair. Enoch scribed the eternal decree by a solitary flame's light, his ink flowing with a solemn duty to admonish the ages, each word a sentinel of truth against the tide of rebellion. A citadel of celestial splendor rose, where radiant sheep sang hymns that shook the heavens, their voices a symphony of eternal joy, rivers of radiant glory flowing beside them, the righteous dwelling in a kingdom untouched by pain, bathed in the Most High's unending light. The righteous advanced in sacred light, their visages shining with divine tranquility, their songs a symphony of eternal triumph, their spirits freed from earthly dread. The Lord of spirits walked among the righteous, his glory a cascade of unquenchable light, angels kneeling in reverence, the faithful bowing in awe, their souls woven into the eternal tapestry of a kingdom where justice and love reigned in perfect harmony. Enoch continued his writing, the light of the vision dimming, the flickering flame casting shadows on his weathered hands, each word a beacon for generations yet unborn, a promise that the righteous would find refuge in the Creator's eternal embrace, unyielding and true. Enoch summoned his children, his form bathed in divine radiance. The gathered throng hushed in reverence as he entrusted them with the sacred words of the Most High, urging them to walk in righteousness and teach their descendants to shun the paths of ruin.
This book is your warning.
Enoch ascended, carried by radiant angels, the earth fading beneath him like a distant dream, as he was drawn into the celestial courts, his spirit entering a realm of eternal glory, where the Most High's presence shone as an unending beacon of divine splendor. The earth dwindled to a speck amidst the cosmic sea, stars pulsing with silent fidelity, the winds of eternity singing hymns of divine order, as the light of the eternal kingdom spread across the heavens, a testament to the Creator's unerring sovereignty over all creation. The Book of Enoch gleamed, its pages inscribed with golden truth, the light of revelation fading into shadow, each word a warning and a hope, a hidden scripture whose mysteries would echo through the ages, calling humanity to heed the Creator's just and eternal decrees. In an ancient sanctuary, the Book of Enoch rested, its truths veiled in sacred mystery, whispered by sages through the centuries, its tales of fallen angels and divine judgment shaping the spiritual tapestry of a world seeking answers beyond the canon of mortal scripture. Enoch stood in the eternal kingdom, bathed in unquenchable light, the righteous bowing in silent reverence, his heart heavy with the charge to warn humanity, his soul alight with the promise of a truth that would endure forever, untouched by the shadows of time.